we're going to start with our lightest color. For our pinks and our reds, those can also be made in a with slightly different ingredients in our Sangria Sunset kit. But I'm taking you through how to make your pinks with our Floral Fancy kit, which covers the colors of pinks, purples, and reds. So this, we're just going to make 3 different colors of pink. So as you can see, I have base in my mixing cup, and we always start with 10 milliliters. And because we're making the lightest color here first, so we're making a sheer, semi-sheer, semi-translucent pink, a very light, neutral pink. It will look great on most skin tones. And we're starting with a white tinted base. So we're gonna do that first with our pearl. And I'm just gonna use half a scoop of this because I don't want too much of the pearl finish. So this white pigment does give us just a little bit of a pearl finish, and I don't want too much of that. We do have to be careful because anything that we're adding to our polish will start to make it more opaque. And if we're wanting to make a semi-sheer color, we don't want to add too much because we can't take that back out of the polish. If you make something more opaque, you can't really adjust the translucency of it unless you add more base. And doing so will, number one, create too much polish in your cup, so you'll have excess, and then you might not have enough base left over for your other 2 colors in your kit. So I'm gonna add 1 drop of white here. So you can see it's still a very light tinted see-through base. And because I do want it to be more of a jelly style or a sheer kind of look to it, I could continue to add color, either the liquid concentrate or the dry pearl pigment, until it was the opacity that I wanted. I also need to remember that I should take into consideration the pink color that I'm going to add. So I'm going to start with a half of a scoop because I can always add it in, but I can't take it back out. And this gave me just the perfect tint of pink. I want to make sure it's really thoroughly mixed in here. So it's just a soft tinted pink. So I'm just going to test it out. And that is still much more translucent than I wanted it to be. So I'm going to continue to add some liquid concentrate. I'm going to add 2 drops. And then I'm going to stir it and see where I'm at. And you can see it made it just a tad bit lighter, which I like, but a little bit more translucent. So I'm going to do that again. So that's exactly what I wanted to happen. And you can see the safety ring just fell off of my liquid concentrate. That can happen. Just pull it out, set it to the side. Sometimes you might want to remove those before you get started, after you've opened your liquid concentrate. Most of the time they stay on, but if they don't, just take it out. That's why we have the protective surface mats and place mats. So this is exactly what I was going for, just a tint of pink. If I wanted a deeper or darker pink or a less translucent pink, I would add either a very small, probably a half a scoop of this and more white, or I could even play around with the pink with a tiny drop of this red liquid concentrate and more of the white as my base. And that would make it less translucent, so less see-through the more of those ingredients that I would add. But this is exactly what I was going for. I'm super happy with it. So I'm gonna bottle this up. And again, we want to keep everything as close to the center as we can. We'll fill up the funnel and let that drip down into the bottle before we add more. Now we're going to do the same thing again. Okay, now before I add all of that, you can see my bottle quickly filling up. So I'm going to let all of that fall in there before I add more. And here we go. So the Floral Fancy Kit is absolutely positively one of our most popular kits because so many people traditionally wear pinks and reds. What's so great about being able to get your own kit and make your own color is that you can get the exact shade that you want. So there's our lightest pink here. And then on the scale of our color chart, we made just right in the neighborhood of this. So again, if you wanted it more red, you would add more of the red, either pigment or the drops. If you wanted to give this a purple tint, we could have added 1 drop of the purple liquid concentrate or even a little of the purple pigment. So you have the scale on this side, and then lighter or darker is more white and less white. So more color is being added up here, less white. And then down here, very little color and more white. So this is just a good visual idea of